Our video in today's video, as title suggests, is what if Naruto had a Dojutsu Part 2. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. The like goal for this video is around 450 likes. If you're impressionable or underage, then don't watch this video, or just advise with caution, right? If you're sensitive to topics like gore or smoking, things of the sort, don't watch the video, right? But with that being said, let's begin. But before that, share the video to a friend who likes what ifs. Comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video. Comment down below what are suggestions that you want me to do, or what are suggestions that you want me to add to my vault to do at a later date. And subscribe, as I want to hit 9K by August and 14K by the end of the year. And as always, let's begin. Naruto had just recently defeated Chisui, Itachi, Danzo, Kakashi, Fugaku, Kurenai, Asuma, Guy, and 7 Anbu, as he had returned to the Leaf to pay for his crimes on his own terms. Naruto, after faking his death or his murder by decapitation, would walk out from the bushes. I shall atone for my sins, but on my terms, not yours. Put me to death and use one of your Jonin to pretend to be me? You disgusting ninja. I wish to speak to the Hokage, not fools. Hiruzen would quickly use body flicker to appear a few feet away from Naruto. As Naruto would look into the eyes of Hiruzen, who would stare back. It's been a long time, Hiruzen would say, letting out a puff of smoke, which would make Naruto cough. Naruto would cough as he tilted his head away in annoyance. Hiruzen would put his pipe away as he would ask Naruto why he did the things he had done. Due to the fact that Naruto in this timeline knows most of Minato's jutsu, he would use Flying Raijin to teleport he and Hiruzen to a more secluded area. Naruto would speak. The reason I did the crimes was simple. I was treated like scum, and I wanted attention. And since the village finally gave me attention, I felt appreciated. And I have no more reason to cause chaos. Hiruzen would say, as he would light his pipe again, away from Naruto this time. As Naruto would turn his back to Hiruzen. Hiruzen would ask Naruto what had happened to the 3 units he dispatched to find him. Naruto would laugh a bit, Naruto would say, as Naruto would loom Hiruzen, and then at the sky. He would look at Hiruzen for a mere moment, but then back at the sky again. It's simple. I used nearly 10,000 shadow clones mixed with my own swiftness that allowed me to slowly wound each of them in the bombardment of my clones. Actually, was somewhat easy. You see, I studied the land for years, not to mention the several traps underneath. They were just outmatched, and it's what they deserved. After all, the fight started off as a 16-1 against me, so I turned the odds 320-1. Naruto would laugh as he said this point. Hiruzen would look to Naruto with a frown, as Naruto would say, the point is, Hiruzen, they are all in critical condition. Wounded, of course, but nevertheless, they are not dead. I have not killed, and don't plan on killing any of them. Actually, I only murdered those who betrayed me. The villagers who were killed in the previous 30 villages weren't real. They were my clones disguised as villagers, though some were killed, especially at the most recent village. But that's the one time that I truly killed people. I just wanted the Leaf's attention. You see, once news spread like wildfire, I knew they would send somebody. But the rest of the villages were staged. Actually, some had died, so there's not 100% truth to that. But what I'd like to know is, for the crimes I've committed, how long will I be imprisoned? Well, Hiruzen, Naruto would say, you are the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, so you can't really be imprisoned, Hiruzen would say, letting out a puff of smoke yet again. That would show weakness and strength at the same time within the village if you were to be imprisoned. So, how will I do justice for the crimes? You will serve the Leaf, and you will do missions, become a prodigy, feared within the Leaf's borders. You will also heal each of our ninja who you injured as well. Naruto would say, thinking to himself, I can do that. Hiruzen would tell Naruto that as long as he can obey that, then he can let him into the village, and he will be placed on a team. Naruto would then be placed on Team 7, as they were missing a member. You'll fit in just nicely, Hiruzen would say, as Naruto would nod. He would then put on a mask at the side of his head, as he would be put in to do the bell test. At the last minute, the rules would be explained, as Kakashi would begin. Naruto would tell his teammates that he can easily defeat Kakashi, though he'd like to see how far their teamwork skills can get them. Sasuke, unaware of who Naruto was at this point, would say that he's fine with that as long as Sasuke leads the charge, or as long as himself leads the charge. Naruto would laugh, saying sure, as Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura would run in a 3-person line, approaching Kakashi. They already pass, Kakashi would say under his mask, but I'd like to see more. More of what they can do. More of their skill. Because that is very important, Kakashi thought to himself. I'd like to see Naruto's capabilities a tiny bit more. Sakura would jump to the left, creating 2 shadow clones, as Sasuke would do the same. They would then both send their 6 clones towards Kakashi, who would have a quick taijutsu battle with them. Naruto would tell Sasuke and Sakura to stay back, as he would create a massive Rasengan. Sasuke and Sakura would then throw kunai towards Kakashi, who would look in front of himself, seeing the Rasengan that Naruto had activated, as he would say that they pass. Naruto would withdraw his Rasengan, smirking and pushing it into the ground, as a faint shake would be felt. Naruto would then raise his fist to the air, and it seemed that their clones grabbed the bells right before Kakashi's eyes. Naruto would look at Kakashi. We weren't supposed to get the bells, were we? There was an underlined goal for us that you hadn't told us, wasn't there? You sure are keen, Kakashi would say. Nodding, the goal was teamwork, which you guys fulfilled perfectly. Naruto and the rest of Team 7 would nod, as they would return at the same spot the next day, taking on D-rank missions. Naruto would work his hardest, doing many missions even without the rest of Team 7. On that day alone, Naruto would complete 30 D-rank missions. Eventually, Naruto would get bored of these missions, as they would request a C rank, getting one, the Land of the Waves mission. The Land of the Waves was a somewhat desolate village with a small population, so the mission couldn't have been too hard, they all thought to themselves. And as I said before in the last part, Naruto knows all of Minato's jutsu, or at least almost all of them, so he would summon a medium-sized toad to take himself, Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, and Tazuna to the bridge. It would still take them a decent amount of time, but they would arrive faster, meaning that the bridge is already about 75% complete when Zabuza and Haku would arrive. Naruto, before they had appeared, would sense their location, as he could feel them rattle between the bushes. Naruto would tell his squad, as Naruto would go over to a nearby lake to take a quick bath, as he had been pretty sweaty from all the work on the bridge. Naruto would continue to sense the chakra of Haku in Zabuza, as Naruto would do a quick dive, meditating at the bottom of the lake. Naruto would then go to the surface, as the algae in the lake would grab onto Naruto's legs, pushing him downwards. Zanko, who I've added into this story, who's Zabuza's younger sister, who for the sake of this what if is basically Zabuza as a female and a much younger female version of Zabuza at 14 years old. She would summon an earth and water combination jutsu that made the plant life obey Zanko's commands, as Naruto would be enraged, starting to swim frantically out of the water. Eventually, Naruto would stand still, building up chakra in his body, and in a quick and executed burst, he would roar. "Gah!" Naruto would say as the lake would evaporate, and Naruto would be left in the middle, drenched in the water, as he would slice the algae, slowly walking over to Zanko, who would be in fear, summoning forth a bird and flying away. Naruto would push Chakra to his feet, leaping high into the air and grabbing onto her eagle's wing, as he would hold on, eventually jumping on top of it and throwing Zanko into a nearby forest. Naruto would then take control of the bird, as he would push his own chakra into the eagle, taking control of his body, as he would force it to fly to the ground, jumping off of it and landing on the ground. Naruto would look around as he would tell Team 7 to prepare for combat. Naruto would rush towards the forest he knew they were in, as 3 Senbon would pin Naruto to the ground, as the person who threw them would use a foreign sealing jutsu to hold Naruto's body in place. Ice would then start to appear around the Senbon. The person using this jutsu would walk up from the corner of the woods. It was a boy with long, dark hair. His name was Haki, twin to Haku. Yuki. In this timeline, I'm integrating a new member of the Yuki family, who is basically like Haku, with the major difference being his knowledge in sealing jutsu and fuin jutsu. Haku would tell Team 7 that if they attack him, he will kill Naruto with the frost of his ancient sealing jutsu. Ancient sealing jutsu, Sakura would say, as Haki would say yes, ancient sealing jutsu. So powerful it was stated to hold down the Three Tails for a bit, long enough for it to be sealed away within Yagura. Naruto's body would evaporate with Kyuubi chakra and be flooded with it, that is, as he would explode with anger. Just because you can hold the Three Tails doesn't mean you can hold me. You see, the difference between me and the Three Tails is that I don't allow people to boss me around. If I don't agree with it, you messed with the wrong person the moment we cross paths. Naruto's face would begin to get, I guess you could say, more archaic. And his body would become stiff with, I guess you could say, erotic pain. Naruto would throw two marked kunai towards Haki, who would block. Naruto would then activate a Rasengan, smirking as the kunai made contact with Haki's own, as he would slam the Rasengan into Haki's stomach, causing him to start to internal bleed. You didn't expect that, did you? That was my legendary flying Raijin technique, Naruto would say, looking into Haki's eyes. As Haki would laugh, I should have known who you were. No 12-year-old Genin's that powerful and fast. And no Genin can strike fear into their enemies to that degree. You are Naruto. Naruto the Destroyer. The great Naruto. Haku would burst out laughing. Haku could no longer sit back and watch, picking Haki up as Haki would continue to laugh. I would have never thought I would meet Naruto, the great destroyer. Naruto, the great destroyer? Haku would say. Yes, brother, it's magnificent, isn't it? No, it's the complete opposite, Haku would say, carrying Haki. Zabuza's blade would be heard as a thud would go off and collapse into the soil, as he heard the name telling Haku and Haki to run. As they would. Zabuza would tell them that they will return, as Haki and Zanko would heal up, vowing to fight another day. It had seemed that hearing Naruto's name, the great fear that it put into each of their hearts had been immense and very powerful. Just Naruto the Destroyer, or Naruto the Great, made their hearts skip a beat. They would have some time to lick their wounds as they would return. The bridge at this point would be about 97% complete and almost finished. Team 7 was surprised at their return, but they readied themselves for battle. Naruto would then be caught in one of Haki's seals yet again, as he would curse himself for falling for the same trick. Haki would walk towards Naruto, pointing a senbon to his neck and heart. Naruto would tell Haki that he would gladly gamble his own life so that his teammates could have knowledge on the sealing formula you use. Haki would jump back as a purple glow would appear around Naruto. I thought you knew better than messing with Naruto the Great and Naruto the Destroyer. You see, I've entered my Destroyer mode. The normal Naruto you were fighting before, well, I built up the reputation Naruto the Great with that one. But this is Naruto the Destroyer. The one they fear. The one they wish they had the same power as. The one who will destroy you. Haki would freeze. Destroy me? You're funny. Currently you're under my sealing jutsu. I strictly recall breaking out of it before. What makes you think I can't do it yet again? So I'll ask you to surrender, Haki. Haki would shake his head, getting into a fighting stance. I shall not surrender to a mere Genin. I am much stronger than that. Zabuza would ready his blade, as Zanko would go underground using the Headhunter Jutsu, ready to strike with her Jutsu. Haku would ready his Senbon as a battle would commence. And with that being said, this has been What If Naruto Had a Dojutsu Part 2. The look for the video is 450 likes, so make sure to like, share the video to a friend. So this is just anime content in general. Comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video. Comment down below what ifs if you want me to put them in my vault to do at a later date, or if you just want me to do the what if in general. I may do it and take it into consideration. Subscribe, as I want to hit 9K by August and 10 or 14K by the end of the year. And check out my Discord server if you haven't already, or my membership if you really want to. And as always, Rami X. Oh.